Damn. There is a good ending after all.
Frogan has eaten her legal fund. We're going to get into it today
She
on
ate
Legal
the
Mindset.
whole thing?
We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew
Oh my
Esquire,
God.
American attorney.
How?
So for those that have been following this
no.
case, we obviously have our defendant Frogan here,
it's
who
me.
is embroiled in
who
a
it is.
lawsuit over copyright infringement for the Hassan Piker content
Ah.
nuke. Now, also in that lawsuit were
It's
Casey
me.
Tron and Denims, but of course Casey Tron, as we saw, stepped
Roached out.
As to the GoFundMe money, to the extent there are any remaining funds after I pay my attorney's fees, I have agreed to pay the remaining funds to the Kleins.
And Denims is
Absolute blowout. Total domination.
ready to take this to trial, ready to take this all the way. But we've always been waiting on Frogan and what she's going to do. There was a lot of speculation about Frogan, thinking she might settle, much in the same way of Casey Tron, while some were saying she was dedicated to fighting this to the end like Denims, and she was a true warrior. Well, we now have figured out exactly what's going to happen, and that is she is going to default on this case. And that's because today we have filed in the U.S. District Court, the Central District for California, we had filed a request for default judgment against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid. That is exactly Frogan in this case.
She was AFK?
So what is a motion for default judgment? That's a motion essentially saying, hey, they haven't responded. They've passed the deadlines. So now we're going to assume liability. So once this is accepted by the court and approved by the court, liability is completely on Frogan. She gives up the fair use defense. She can no longer argue the law. All of that is out. The only thing left after this is damages. So you can argue over damages. So she would have a chance to speak up and say, no, the damages aren't that much, or let's argue over the damages.
She just buried her head in the sand.
The trial is over. It's done. She's lost after this point. So let's
she's done. All right.
Through the facts to figure out exactly how bad this was and how much Frogan did not put up a fight. But before we move on, there's an important message.
That is hilarious.
Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms.
Yeah, I think they made kids retarded or something. There was like an ad on the radio for this.
They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety,
There's
depression,
an ad on the radio.
and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for a case. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000.
You get a free $1,000.
Here we have in the same motion,
it's pretty good.
Filed saying plaintiff TED Entertainment hereby requests the clerk enter default in this matter against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid, PKA Frogan, on the grounds that the defendant has failed to appear or otherwise respond to the complaint within the time prescribed by the federal rules of procedure. Now, understand, this is not asking much. All that will be required is a very simple filing. She could have told her lawyer, hey, I'm on a budget. Hey, I don't want to spend that much money. Hey, try to keep this to just a one-pager, the bare bones. Let's just give a basic complaint response so we don't default. They could have kept that to a minimum amount.
I feel like they're probably going to give Ethan a lot of money because, I feel like the courts... this is kind of almost like contempt of court, isn't it? If you just go out and you don't even respond to what's against you, I feel like that's really bad.
You can tell your lawyer, hey, keep this cheap, just the bare minimum. I want to delay this. I want to try to push this off.
Served a year
That's
ago?
definitely something to tell their lawyer, but they didn't even give that. And they've had almost a year at this point. So since August of last year.
That's a long time ago.
So this was filed, of course, June 19th of last year. July 17th of last year, Frogan got the complaint.
Right.
And on August 5th of last year, they had a joint stipulation to extend her deadline from August to October and also give her time for these filings. Since then, they also engaged in settlement negotiations. Now, the counsel for both sides can't talk about the details of settlement negotiation. However, I would like to speculate here, if I may.
Exciting.
And I would like to say that they probably did the bare minimum in negotiation to make it kick down the line, to just take this and extend this out as far as possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't come up with an agreeable settlement. And I think during this period of time, Frogan was looking at Casey Tron and her settlement. And she was thinking, hey, look, if I settle, I'm going to have to give all of my legal defense fund over to Ethan Klein. And instead of doing that, let me kick this down the can and use those funds for my Big Macs. Yes, the giant mountain of Big Macs that we can all see Frogan chowing down on. Let's use that for the Big Mac fund over this period of time. And as I whittle this down, we'll eventually just not ignore it, whatever else. And hey, maybe this will go away. And maybe she got advice that it'd be totally okay for her to just ignore this and default. Maybe she got somebody whispering in her ear, yeah, forget about it. He's not actually going to go after you, or it's going to look bad, or you're going to become some sort of sob story. Well, that's not the case. The court, of course, at this point, had every right to enter into a default judgment, which is what they're requesting. So they informed them on April 20th that they intended to proceed with litigation, gave her 3 weeks, and their deadline to respond was May 11th. That did not come. That day came and gone. And now, boom, we're at default judgment territory. Now, how is this not a scam? Because if we look at her legal defense fund, her lawsuit defense fund on GiveSendGo, she raised almost $40,000, $38,756.
So how is it a legal defense fund if you didn't even defend yourself? Yeah, no, that's a good point. You're right. Yeah. Like, she didn't even do anything. She just sat there as like, yeah, I guess. I mean, Jesus, take the wheel. And then you just lose. So she just took the money. Wow.
Dollars, including donations that were running up to this day. She was getting donations very, very
Somebody gave her $73 a month ago. And now
that were coming into her fund.
Oh my
so she's
God.
still out there grifting for her legal defense, despite the fact that she hasn't really used this for legal defense. Really, there's been no filings on her part, significant filings, over almost a year. Since August of last year, she really hasn't done anything. So what's going on? Where did all this money go? Didn't she have to use that for legal funds? Well, I called this out last year, and I am proven absolutely right yet again that she tucked some weasel words in here so she didn't get hit with scamming or fraud allegations.
Personal or any other, it says any other bills or personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. So this is, weasel, exactly.
So if we turn back to the actual language that she tucked into that GiveSendGo legal defense fund, you can see it says here, this fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint. Talking about Ethan Klein. Any counterclaims I may have against him, well, she can't file any counterclaims if she defaults. That's totally gone. So that's some BS to begin with.
Yep.
And then saying any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. So her whole horse is going to be bet on personal expenses and bills. So she used this for
She's
rent.
not like, dude, she's going to get away with this. She's going to get every single Big Mac that she could ever want. This is infinite hamburgers. Think about that.
She used this once again for
Infinite
the Big
hamburgers.
Mac fun, chowing down on Cheetos, fried chicken, whatever else she did. But I mean, she was not using this for this fun. And because of that, she's able to say, hey, I didn't scam you because I put personal expenses in there. So you can't sue me. You guys can't come back and say I defrauded you because, hey, I disclosed this could be my personal expenses.
Wow.
So in judgment here, looking at this, I absolutely believe that she clearly used this for her personal expenses chiefly. Because she really didn't do anything in this lawsuit significantly, her legal bills are probably
Probably like, I'd say $3,000, right?
more than a couple $1,000s in this. over totaling based on what she did. She really didn't have to spend more than that for what she's done so far. It really isn't that expensive to just, go and have settlement negotiations.
It's expensive to do one of these lawsuits. It is. There's a lot of money that goes into it. I know.
Bones work, etc., and not even filing a response, a basic short 1-2 page response, something very simple, is absolutely disgraceful, having put up a legal defense fund, not even putting up a fight, not even taking this to summary judgment or a further stage where she could try to make an attempt to argue the law, try to do what Denham's did. She's not even gone as far as Denham's, right? Denham's at least shown, hey, she's willing to put up some level of fight in this. She hasn't even
here's the reason why Denham's can do that. It's because Denham's gets like at least a couple thousand viewers, and she has OnlyFans. So she's getting dudes to give her money. Like, Frogan doesn't have anybody watching her, and she doesn't have anything like that. So really, I mean, Frogan doesn't, I mean, it's a sitting duck. I mean, she can't do anything about it. Yeah, I mean, she just gonna get there and get got. Rising star? Well, this seems more like a black hole. You put your money into it, it's gone forever.
Frogan has been sitting in her room not doing anything with this. And if you look at the actual liability, it's going to be large. It's going to be over 200K. Likely the statutory damages alone are up to 150K, and that doesn't include any of Frogan's profits or any of Ethan's lost revenue. So if they're able to cobble together 50 or 100,
dude, no way. Oh my God.
100K of lost profits or Frogan's revenue, something like that, as well as attorney's fees, because Ethan can tack his attorney's fees onto this.
Oh my God, I forgot all about this. Yes, of course, because now if she default loses, then also he can have her pay for the fee. Oh fuck. Because that's where the real that's the extra. Like, how much did Ethan spend on this legal suit? Probably, if I had to guess, I don't know, like 50, 80K, something like that. Like, yeah, I'd say like 100K. I feel like maybe, I think that it might be a little bit less, because I think he knows the people that he's working with, so they might have given him a better deal. But like, I mean, it's a lot of money. He won't get anything from her. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Certainly is going to be expensive, because we all know that Ethan has the best lawyers on this that are very expensive. That's certainly going to get over 200K. So we're looking at a 6-figure amount. That's going to be a lot for Frogan, for someone who is constantly begging for money and saying she's broke. So what do I think her strategy is? I think it's to declare personal bankruptcy.
Oh, chapter 13.
I think her strategy all along has been to deplete these funds. So even if Ethan Klein wins, she can say, hey, that fund is empty. I already drained that fund. So you can't get anything from that.
So she already ate all the hamburgers, so Ethan can't get any hamburgers out of her because they're all gone. I mean, but $40,000 of hamburgers? There's no way. That's an insane amount of money.
And I am personally broke. She will declare bankruptcy after the judgment.
That's a lot.
So, hey, you're not going to get anything from me. So I think that's her strategy. Now, that doesn't always work out. In some cases, there can still be liability attached. Now, that's going to be up for Ethan Klein to figure out that and fight that battle. But I think that's going to be her strategy in all of this. But without a doubt, we can say that Frogan ate it all. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
Wow. Oh, my God. So this is it. She truly does believe in eat the rich. Oh, my God. She... I love Andrew. And his videos are so good. Freaking ate her legal defense fund. Oh, my God. There's the video. Give it a like. Why is my name pink? Why is my name pink in chat? What the fuck happened? Oh my God, she's toast. It's actually rough. I know. And a Michigan town voted 4-1 against an AI center. The company sued for billions. The town couldn't fight it. The project is moving forward anyway. Really? That's crazy. Well, anyway, so yeah, Frogan ate her legal defense fund. Oh my God. And it's sad to see. It really is. But I think that, you know, you do something like this, you go and take everybody's money. I mean, I don't have any sympathy for her. I don't, because she literally is a terrorism supporter. Like, she's a person that literally supports terrorism. So that's what you get. I mean, really, you shouldn't have supported terrorism. I think that's a really bad, like, of things to do, like, terrorism support is really bad. Off topic, you go to Taco Bell, get Mountain Dew. Like, I get it sometimes, but it's rare, right? And so that's it. In dark mode, your name's Orange. Okay, good. She's cooked. She'll eat it, I guess, right? I wonder how much they're going to default against her. And I wonder if they can garnish her wages, too. Because, like, I mean, you usually can't, because she doesn't make any fucking money. So it's basically like everything is perfectly created. So there is no, like, basically she's so much of a loser that she can't lose. That's really where we're at. She's crashed out so hard that she can't, like, there's not even any accountability for it. I think it's actually kind of funny.